Welcome back, Source Nation. You're listening live to Healthy Living with Dr. Julissa.
Good evening, Source Nation. Good evening, and welcome to Healthy Living. I'm your host, Kathy D. I'm so excited to be with you all this evening because we are doing something amazing tonight, Source Nation. That's right. Dr. Julissa and I are going to be speaking on a great topic. But before I let you guys know what's going on, of course, you guys can call in to 619-924-0933. Again, 619-924-0933. And, of course, tonight's show would not be possible without these amazing sponsors. And they are Julissa Health, Wellness, and Fitness, Paper to Film Productions, Revolution Mills, and Renovations. Well, guys, you know, Dr. Julissa and I have talked about some amazing things over the last 3-4 years being here on Source Radio Network. But if you have not already, and I'm going to tell you this, you need to go and purchase a book. And for all the Source Nation family members that have, of course, you know the book is The Naturopathic Approach to Fertility. But I want you guys to not be discouraged because we're not going to just speak upon improving our lives with fertility, but having a reproductive system that is totally healthy. So we're going to be speaking to Dr. Julissa about that. Now, not only that, let me tell you the surprise. For the next 5 weeks, we're going to be discussing the 10 important principles of sex and understanding it and applying it through Chinese medicine. So you need to tune in as we elaborate each week on information that will begin to enlighten as well as heighten your sexual experience. So you definitely don't want to miss this because it is some great information to be shared. Now, I am not going to hold Dr. Julissa up because I know she's here in the studio with us, and she's going to give us some great information on tonight's topic. Dr. Julissa, hello and welcome to Healthy Living. How are you this evening?
Hello, my beautiful friend. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling excited about this topic and this series we're about to do in the next 5 weeks. I know a lot of people have been asking for us to go into more depth about some topics that are a bit taboo for some others to discuss, but not for you and me. Not for us.
I know. Source Nation, you need to get ready because Dr. Julissa and I, we get down on topics like this. We do.
Yes, we do. And no holds barred. And health is too important to beat around the bush. Let's go for it.
That's right. That's right. Well, Dr. Julissa, thank you again for being here. Of course, you know that our segments every single week, they grow, and I thank you for that because you're giving us some timely information and definitely giving us the opportunity to learn more about our health and through a naturopathic way. But if you will, take a moment to introduce yourself to all of the new family members and, of course, the Source Nation family, and we'll jump into the conversation from there.
Thank you so much, Kathy. Hello, everyone. Hello, Source Radio Network family and Facebook family. I'm Dr. Julissa Hernandez, naturopathic doctor, practicing now for over 22 years. I'm an international speaker of natural medicine, a teacher of natural medicine, holistic, naturopathic, and Chinese medicine, and a television and radio personality, and absolutely honored to be here on this amazing platform with all of you on Source Radio Network. Thank you, Kathy.
Awesome. Dr. Julissa, thank you so much. Again, Source Nation, if you have the opportunity and you have the book written by Dr. Julissa, which is The Naturopathic Approach to Fertility, please take that out because over the next 5 weeks we're going over some great information. And I tell you, once you do, tune in to the pages 136 through 141. They're going to give you some important information. As I stated, tonight's conversation is going to be all about the 10 important principles of sex in Chinese medicine. So I want to go ahead and jump right into it, Dr. Julissa, because you have written some wonderful things and things that we need to talk about. Now, let's talk about one particular area that I find very interesting, and I'm going to give you some information Dr. Julissa, that I had the opportunity to research, and we'll see if this is going to align with tonight's topic. So the subject matter will be preservation of kidneys and how that is going to be healthy in regards to your sexual life and the experience. Now, it's stated here, and of course, Source Nation, whenever I give you any type of information, whether it will be sourced from Dr. Julissa's book, we'll let you know that, as well as if I'm getting this information from any other medical website. That way you can go at your leisure to take a look at the information and begin to apply it to your daily healthy lifestyle. Now, it's stated here, Dr. Julissa, how to begin to take care of your kidneys, and this, of course, is coming from the Kidney Disease Center and Diet and Nutrition. And it stated that there are 5 simple lifestyle steps that you can apply to make sure that you continue to keep your kidneys in good shape. And they stated that they were staying hydrated, meaning drink plenty of fluid, will help your kidneys function properly. They also stated that eating healthy is a great way to keep your kidneys healthy. Watch your blood pressure. Don't smoke or drink too much, and keep slim to help your kidneys function. So what are your thoughts about that? And is that actually something that we need to apply every single day? And of course, if we're wanting to have a sexual healthy experience, is that true as well?
Absolutely. I love that you've mentioned those specific points, because when we talk about how Chinese medicine emphasizes what it is, the importance, the adoring preciousness of sex between partners, we have to really go into what I've elaborated also in my book, which are the prescriptions of life preservation. And the first principle, and we're going to be discussing 10 in the next 5 weeks at 2 each week, you've nailed it on the head, Kathy. The kidneys are really known as the residents of the loins. They are literally considered the root organs that really rule the health of the reproductive system in men and women. And so it is absolutely crucial for us to preserve our kidney qi, as it is called in Chinese medicine, our kidney energy. It's important to maintain these organs nourished, to maintain them strong. And if one is dehydrated, you mentioned the first point, staying hydrated, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
If one is dehydrated, the kidneys are going to do some work that is way too much for what they're really designated to do. They're going to work overtime. Next, I feel that you mentioned smoking and drinking too much. My personal opinion, I would say eliminate those things from their lifestyle if you are already experiencing some challenges, especially of the reproductive system, some discomforts, or have been told of specific urinary challenges, kidney challenges. Those are 2 habits, smoking and drinking alcohol, that should be eliminated, if not lessened to almost nil, obviously, to maintain a healthy kidney energy. You also mentioned the blood pressure, am I correct?
Yes, I did. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we also know within natural medicine and naturopathy, there is really no such thing as high blood pressure, which is one of those main first lessons that I heard maybe about 26 years ago when I first started my studies in natural medicine. We had our professors really drum into our minds that there's no such thing as high blood pressure, but only weak kidneys. And so if you are having challenges with hypertension, high blood pressure, then consider the fact that your kidney qi, your kidney energy, the strength of your kidneys is weakened a bit. There are some imbalances there. And so you have to take measures to strengthen, nourish, and fortify. And you mentioned another point, which was the other?
Of course, making sure that you are keeping your kidneys healthy. There was another point that I failed to mention too. They mentioned exercise. Exercise is a great way to keep your kidneys healthy as well. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Okay, well, most definitely, if the body is very lethargic or stagnant, better yet said, and not really being mobile, then of course all functions of the body are going to become lessened, whether it's circulatory, whether it's urinary system, whether it's the cardiovascular system. We need to exercise. We need to keep the body moving and mobile, even if it's just 3 or 4 times a week. It's necessary to keep the kidney energy healthy, and in that, you can then in turn pretty much be sure that the reproductive system is going to follow suit, remembering always that the kidneys are the residents of the loins. And so as far as keeping the kidneys nourished, I do mention also in my book, you'll find at the end in the glossary section, numerous herbs that I recommend for people to use to strengthen and keep them strong. I love utilizing things like, for example, parsley with patients in capsule form and in tea form for those patients that tend to have weakened kidneys. For those that are very low in silica, I love to recommend the herb horsetail as well to help strengthen and nourish the kidneys. Wonderful herbs to help do that as well. You also mentioned keeping a decent weight. In other words,
Yes.
obesity, right? Obesity and being overweight puts stress on the kidneys. You'll find that many people that tend to have issues with even kidney stones might have had at some point in their life challenges with also being slightly overweight, even if they're probably lessened and thinner now. But that is also a challenge, right? That's also a challenge there. And so with regards to that, I'd love to recommend to those patients that have those issues of weight and kidney challenges, I love the herb chickweed, for example. That's another one that is wonderful for strengthening the kidneys and also helps with weight loss and helps the body to emulsify fat stores while at the same time strengthening the urinary system.
Great information there, Dr. Julissa. Now, I'm going to transition over, if I may. And I remember a conversation that I know that you and I had probably almost a year and a half ago, maybe 2, where we were discussing the kidneys, and we talked about erectile dysfunction in regard to male health. Let's share some of that information, if you don't mind, with the Source Nation family and talking with us about how erectile dysfunction correlates to kidney health.
Well, first of all, erectile dysfunction is a challenge of the reproductive system, of the loins, and we're talking about in general, since the kidneys are known as the root of the health of the reproductive system. Then consider that if the kidneys are slightly weakened, if that kidney energy, that water energy is not flowing properly through those organs, in other words, there could be a blockage of qi. There could be just a very weak qi flowing through those organs as well. Then know that what can follow suit is poor circulatory system as well. Now, what is it that dominates a man's erection? Blood flow. Okay, so if the circulatory system then follows suit from a weakened kidney qi, weakened water energy, weakened urinary system energy, which is, once again, the root of the health of the reproductive system, then if that circulatory system is weakened as well, poor oxygen to all extremities, head, hands, feet, and genital region. Poor blood flow to extremities, head, hands, feet, and genital region. And a man depends on a good circulatory system, a healthy circulatory system flow to have strong erections. So everything in the body is interconnected. That's one of the things that you'll learn through Chinese medicine. So as we continue to discuss this for the next few weeks, I really want your fans and the listeners to really unlearn whatever they already think that they know about their bodies. When we talk about Chinese medicine, I need them to look through all of this through the eyes of the Chinese, as they told us in our teachings and so on. Look at this through the eyes of the Chinese. Unlearn whatever you already think you know that conventional medicine has taught you about your bodies, and really look at your body as an umbrella where everything is interconnected. Everything flows from one area to the other and affects one area or another. Okay.
Great information, great information. So, Station, tonight we are speaking with Dr. Julissa Hernandez, and we are actually working on the next 5 weeks a series where we're going to be speaking on the 10 important principles of sex in Chinese medicine and how this correlates to having a healthy sexual experience and sexual healthy lifestyle. So let's talk a little bit more, Dr. Julissa, and of course, Source Nation, tonight's area of focus is on the kidney. Got a couple of things here that as we were speaking, I decided, I said, you know what, I want to talk to Dr. Julissa about this. And of course, Source Nation, again, once we source any type of information, we'll make sure to put that back out on our Facebook pages. You can go over to Kathy B's Source Radio Network, as well as our main station page, Source Radio Network, and definitely be able to go over to drjulissa.com and get more information on the topics that we speak here on Healthy Living. Now, this talks about 10 ways to manage your kidneys if you were diagnosed with like kidney disease, and it actually correlates to the sexual side and dealing with kidney disease if you're still in a sexual way. Now, they said that in order for you to have a healthy lifestyle, which we talked about earlier, controlling your blood pressure, making sure that you understand what your blood glucose levels are, and it says also make sure that if you are on any form of medicine, make sure that you're taking what's prescribed correctly, and making sure that you also have a great meal plan put in place. So those 5 areas that I just spoke of, I want to talk about that because I think that is very important too. If you are still having any sexual encounters and you have kidney disease, how important is that for an individual? Can you talk to us about that?
Absolutely. My focus is always to strengthen the body to the point where we can help a patient to slowly wean off of medication given for high blood pressure. So the first point of eating a certain way and eating healthy foods that are going to help with maintaining healthy blood pressure and even maintaining healthy blood glucose, because remember the kidneys are a filter of the body, and so those types of challenges do affect the kidneys. I can't tell you how many diabetics I've encountered that come to me when they're either on dialysis or have been told that they are in danger of needing dialysis. So most definitely know that a challenge like diabetes, we know, is a disease that tends to destroy all systems of the body. So there is a correlation there. But my premise would be to bring into the diet, obviously, those foods that are going to strengthen. So know that first and foremost, definitely greens, like green vegetables, that's going to do it also with nourishing and strengthening. Remember, we're talking about nourishing and strengthening these organs so that the loins and the reproductive system also follow suit and become strengthened. As far as the medications you mentioned, and yes, I understand that conventional medicine is going to say, well, most definitely take your medication, you must. My work will always be, and I'm sure that all other fellow naturopathic doctors and natural health practitioners out there are with me, when what we want to do is help our patients not be dependent on a chemical agent, right, for them to balance their blood pressure. Because if they're taking medications like atenolol, Norvasc, Diavan, all of these medications that are prescribed for high blood pressure, one of the side effects is lowered sexual desire. One of the side effects is low libido. It kills their sex drive. And that's right. And so what are we doing here? We're numbing people, in other words, and intimacy and sexuality is something very natural. It's something that every human partaken because they deserve to be loved. They deserve to be, intimate and adored and to have, and touch is very healing. And so it is a premise that I do emphasize if I'm working with a couple or just a woman or a man that is in a relationship, and I'm just working with them individually, and I express to them the importance of that. And once these things are heightened and strengthened, then you can see healing much faster. But my focus will always be for them not to be dependent on a chemical agent, because again, when they're taking these medications, supposedly it's helping with lowering the blood pressure. However, you have so many side effects from that, overloading the liver and so on and so forth, and the body being dependent on something that it is never going to cure. Many times people feel that they have to be, Kathy, on those medications for the rest of their lives, and it's not the case if you know how to balance and feed the body what is missing so that it can heal itself. So my focus is to get them off the medications, and that's what I do. And I never take patients off cold turkey, off their high blood pressure medications. They continue to take them when we begin working together, when we begin whatever herbal therapy program I recommend. And then with time, in about a good 2 to 4 weeks time, when I already see that the blood pressure is stable, then we start to wean them off slowly, and I give them that option. I give them the option of weaning, maybe now taking their medication after about 2 to 4 weeks of us having a balanced blood pressure, to taking it every 2 days for the next 2 weeks, and then taking it every 3 days for the next 2 weeks, and then every 4 days for the next 2 weeks. So it takes about a month and a half to 2 months for me to slowly help a patient start weaning off of their medication, all the while they're using natural herbal therapy programs to strengthen, rebuild the kidneys to the point where they won't need that any longer.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Great information. Let's take a look at the next 5. And they said that you want to make sure that you include an activity part of your routine daily. So getting out and exercising, that's something that you should do. We also spoke on making sure that we aim for a healthy weight. I love the next one. Something that I truly need to continue to focus on is making sure that you're getting adequate amount of sleep. Stop smoking, and always figure out ways to cope with any form of stress and depression. What are your thoughts about those areas, Dr. Julissa?
Well, the adequate amount of sleep and rest is necessary, period. What you'll notice is that the 4-hour interval of 3 p.m. to 7 p.m., wherever you're living in the world, the 4-hour interval between 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. are the 4 hours that Chinese medicine teaches us in which the kidneys work the hardest. And so I can tell that I need to focus on kidneys. If I'm with a patient, I've examined them and so on, and I see that there tend to be some kidney weakness, I'll ask, do you tend to normally feel tired? Does your energy normally tend to wane and start to become lower, and you feel like you need a nap every day between 3 and 7 p.m.? Yes. How did you know? How did you know I need to take a nap every day around that time? It's amazing. How do you know that? Well, that's when the kidneys tend to work the hardest. So a person with high blood pressure may present that sort of a symptom. A person who's had constant kidney infections, a person who's had challenges with kidney stones in the past will demonstrate things like that. So the body gives us signs. It's a beautiful thing. Chinese medicine is very enlightening in that aspect. So you'll notice that when that 4-hour interval comes around, they feel fatigued, they feel more tired than any other part of the day, and so rest is much, much needed. Stress will stress and cause challenges in any part of the body. So reducing stress will help you in general with your health. And that's always something that I definitely advocate. We discussed the exercise and keeping the body mobile, so I agree with absolutely all of those points.
Great information. Now, Dr. Julissa, just taking a look at what you've written on kidney health, what more could you share with Source Nation and everyone listening about the kidneys and having a great sexual experience and a sexual lifestyle, healthy lifestyle? What more can we speak on regarding the kidney?
Well, know that when these organs, are deficient and they're lacking their principal pure substances needed to function the way they should, you will start to experience challenges of the reproductive system. And so take into consideration that, again, this being the residence of your loins, whether you are male and female, the main focus is there. And you can find even in that text that I do reference within my book that we'll be discussing for the next few weeks, and the prescriptions of life preservation. They are truly the clocks of the body. That's what the kidneys are called, and they really are the ones that determine your lifespan and so on and so forth. And so notice and remember that those organs are crucial, that must be kept healthy in every sense of the word for you to have a healthy sexual life as well.
Awesome. Well, Dr. Julissa, thank you so much for giving us some great information on the kidneys and as it pertains to a sexual experience and a healthy lifestyle if you are having sex. So great information there. If you will, as we are wrapping up, we always like to leave either with some encouraging word or maybe some tips and advice that we have not shared in tonight's conversation. If you wish to contribute, we'd love for you to do so at this time.
Okay, well, wonderful. For those of you that have been asking where we're getting this information for the next few weeks, we'll be discussing specifically pages 136 to 141 in my new book, The Naturopathic Approach to Fertility. You can obtain all links on my website at drjulissa.com. That's drjulissa.com. But it's also available on Amazon, BarnesandNoble.com, on IndieBound and Books A Million. And I know this is a bit of a taboo topic. We're about to get into some nitty-gritty stuff for the next few weeks. So I really do hope that people tune in because I know that we're not going to hold back. But also, if you have questions about tonight, Kathy, well, how do you feel about the fans maybe sending into Source Radio some questions we can address next week before the second and third principle of sex we're going to discuss next week?
Yes, awesome. That would be great. Source Nation, definitely continue to send in your questions. And as Dr. Julissa stated, this is going to be a wonderful time spent in understanding our bodies in a naturopathic, holistic way when it comes to our sexual lifestyle. So that would be great. Sending in your questions. You can definitely send them to Kathy B. Source Radio Network or send them over to the Source Radio Network page, and we can get those questions and pull them in. So that would be great, Dr. Julissa, having some questions on the kidneys as it pertains to a sexual lifestyle. So thank you. Definitely we can do that on next week.
All right. I look forward to it. Blessings to all of you, and have a wonderful night. Bye now.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Julissa. Well, Source Nation, you heard it right there from Dr. Julissa Hernandez. Of course, tonight we started out on our brand new series. I'm so excited. We're speaking on the 10 topics in regards to your sexual lifestyle. So again, that's the 10 important principles of sex in Chinese medicine. And of course, tonight's conversation was all about the preservation of the kidneys. As I stated, we're going to be speaking over the next 5 weeks. Great topic coming from Dr. Julissa's book, The Naturopathic Approach to Fertility. And of course, we wanted to add that it's just not focused on fertility, but an overall healthy reproductive health system. So definitely tune in, send in your questions, and we're going to have some fun over the next 5 weeks. Of course, going back, pages 136 through 141 will be the area of focus. Guys, thank you so much for being here on Healthy Living. Of course, reach out to Dr. Julissa, drjulissa.com, and tune in every single Thursday as we bring you important information as it deals with a healthy, holistic lifestyle. You've been listening live right here on Healthy Living with Kathy B. and Dr. Julissa. We'll see you all again next week. Be blessed.
Joy.